Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I bring you an urgent announcement. This game is absolutely insane. At least that's what it looks like. When I go and download games, I can see the stats of the game for how long it goes. And I'm telling you guys, if you didn't, for the 5 minutes before when you saw the video, when you wanted to, if you were on Twitch and I told you, go get yourself a nice tasty beverage. This is a game to eat. This is a game to watch while eating dinner. This game will be there for you. Take your time. It's going to be good. In the left-hand corner of the map, playing as Boitis, the Uranos, we have No Brainer. And he plays the No Brainer god, Uranos. He's in the right-hand corner of the map, playing as Ra. It is Uranos' #1 abuser. #1 abuser. Jack 90. He's the 90th Jack, and he's going to be playing some Ra for us. So this is going to be spicy. There's around about a 200 to 300 real rate difference here between these two players. However, Jack doesn't play Ra, and No Brainer is an Uranos main. But I'm letting you guys know this is going to be special. So Jack is kind of a top 20 player, top 30 player. Really, really strong player. Trying to expand out his god pool, obviously. He does know how to play Uranos, so it's kind of... He'll know what players do to give him a hard time, and he'll be able to throw that at No Brainer for the... Well, he'll know what's going to work. Anyways, let's have a little quick look-see at the relics over here. We've got ourselves the Adamantine shingles. Adamantine shingles? Adamantian shingles. We've got the Heavenly Jeweled Spear over here, which is going to be Prodromus, Spearmen, Herdmen, Catapulties, etc. Over onto this side, we've also got the Demeter's Throne, which is going to be giving the houses and all the other good stuff some reduced base rate. And I think that's all of them. I feel like somebody picked up a relic already. Am I wrong? Yes, they did. We've already got the Tail Feathers of Heaven. Their infantry attacks now ignite enemies, dealing fire damage over time. So it's just a little bit of divine damage. Now, you guys might be watching this saying, wow, Boit, that's a really cool t-shirt you've got going on there. And I say to you, you know what? Yeah, it is. And if you guys want to purchase this one, I've just opened up a new merch store with Dashery at TeePublic. This is really cool, very, very good quality. And I think the shipping costs are a little bit more reasonable. If you want to check that out, you can click on the link in the description box below. I think I'm going to have a YouTube sort of integration thing going on, so you can check it out there. Or if you're on Twitch, there is the merch tab below in the info. So a little bit of advertisement. I'm sorry, I just have to do it. Over here, we've got the temple coming out now for Jack 90, and I think it's worth it, because this game is just worth it. Another relic now coming in as No Brainer is going to probably be securing all 4 of these relics. Did I talk too soon? No? All 4 of the relics. Yes, he has the Adamantine shingles as well. How many different ways can I pronounce that word? Alrighty. So, we've got Prometheus on the way here for No Brainer. I love this idea, but I think that if we're going Prometheus in 2025, I do think it's well worth it to go for the heroized civilian unit opening. Reason being is it's just so much more economy. It pays itself off really quickly, and you hit these really brutal 10-minute timing attacks, while it also gives you the opportunity to stay 1 town center versus a 2 town center play as well, because you can go into your Oracle spam instead of going for the town center, and then you can spam out those Prometheans to break through any sort of 2 town center threat. But No Brainer just going military barracks and counter barracks. On the bottom side here, we've got Jack. He's going to be looking for his secondary hunt really early on. This is I would say this is normally a pretty greedy play, especially if you've seen your opponent advance quite early. No Brainer should be able to get over there and get some nice early game damage done. However, because he's gone Prometheus, he doesn't really have that option. Sure, he can send a Promethean down to start wailing away at the villagers, but he doesn't have that Caladria to ensure value on the raids. As well as we've also got Jack with all of the obelisks in the world. He's got 8 obelisks up already, building another one over here, just making sure that he sees the entirety of the map. What about in 2026? Who knows? They might nerf the theft of fire. It's probably the most reasonable nerf at the moment for what everyone's complaining about, I think, with Atlantean economy. But I'm not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about obelisks going down and spearmen spearing around. As the spearman versus Murmillo threat here is nice because the Murmillos here, they don't quite have enough speed. Actually, yes, they do. They go to 5 speed, don't they? Anyway, spearman over here falling. Carabalista taking everything out over here as well. Can he take out the extra spearman? No. Yes. Looks like he's going to be able to get out of here. But now Jack sees the Promethean upgrade, so he's going to know that Prometheans are on the cards. So he will have to start thinking about getting priests out and trying to figure out how he's going to be defending that secondary gold mine. So we are on the map Giza, and sometimes there's really, really nice back gold mines, but this is not going to be one of those times here. So Jack's going to have to be able to move forward and get that second gold mine. And generally speaking, if the Oranos player is going to go full spam here and try and go for a gold staff versus the one town center Ra, it's not going to go all too well. The one town center Ra should be able to defend, should be able to get that second gold mine, so long as they don't make too many big mistakes. Up onto the top side here. Do see a little cheeky sky passes coming up for No Brainer. So Hero Citizen there does get converted in, and this Spearman will get taken out. Does manage to save the Murmillo with just a tiny little bit of HP, though it goes down to the poison there as the Promethean offsprings can chase down the Wadjet, but the reinforcements are coming through, and No Brainer will have to be very, very careful here. As he does decide to charge forward, there's only a handful of slingers, but I don't know if this is going to be a great fight here for No Brainer. Jack's got all the units in the world to deal with all of this. But the Carabalista micro here from No Brainer looking very, very nice. Should keep on going for this because you can get a lot of damage and use the Promethean offspring to defend that one. But nice play there from No Brainer. Does manage to get a couple of pot shots off. Does force Jack back for the time being. Now some upgrades to come through for Jack as well, as he is slowly going to move forward. The one thing he's kind of missing here is a whole lot of priests to heal up and get these obelisks up, but now he's getting a couple more in, and that's going to be a nice little help for him. On the flip side, for No Brainer, he kind of doesn't need to spam any more units out. He's seen what Jack is going for. Getting to the heroic age right now makes a lot of sense. He's got the sky passages set up on multiple different corners. I'd love to see Sneaky Citizen just wandering over onto this gold mine as well, or over here, just somewhere else where he can get everything sorted. But we are still seeing No Brainer going for the No Brainer play, which is spam units until you can spam units no more. I feel like getting to the heroic age for Satyr and making a whole bunch of oracles is the best play right now, but it's a little bit difficult to see that from No Brainer's perspective here. He doesn't see the army getting massed up. He doesn't know what's coming for him. That being said, he can just leave this position. He can just get watchtowers. He can just sit in his main base and be fine. Inside of that sky passage, there's a hefty amount of units, especially the Carabalista. 3 Carabalista here. These are 4 population. So at 12 pop, worth of Kyra Ballista. And they can take out the Axemen that want to charge in there pretty easily. Meanwhile, Jack just going to continue to spam out Spearman, Wadget, Slinger, and all the other good stuff. So now Jack going to be losing just a little bit of Obelisk and a little bit of the stare down going on here. We just have these guys just hanging out. I'm not really sure what Jack's holding out for. His army is well and truly in the positive. But maybe he doesn't want to give any angles for No-Brainer to get any raids off or something like that. There's no walls in just yet for Jack. He could definitely start thinking about setting all those up. Especially up here, nice and forward. Get these walls up over here. Meanwhile, this unit's just continuing to pop through here. Idle citizens, got to get those out of the sky passage. No-Brainer, a little bit of trouble there, but he'll work that one out. Now he has still got a whole bunch of food up on this top side. Gonna grab all that. More Prometheans coming in. Caraballis, the Murmillos. There's still only a handful of priests in here for Jack, which is very, very troubling. Those Prometheans are going to be really, really valuable here. In fact, it might be worth it to drop a second temple if you really want to keep pumping those out. Up onto the top side. Obelisk coming through. There's worlds where you can go for some sort of shifting sands play, but No-Brainer. Hopping out of his sky passage to heroize another Deuterino there as his citizen can pop through, jump over onto this gold mine, get himself straight to that heroic age. Chaos is going to be huge on top of Axeman and Slinger. Like, you can be happy to click this wherever you want at the moment. The Spearmen do manage to come through. They pick off one little Caraballis there, going after a citizen as well. The citizen will be heroized with valor, though. No value to be found as Hyperion now coming through. Meanwhile, on the other side, however, Sekhmet on the way. Now, Sekhmet is really, really good versus Atlantean. Of course, there's the Satyr. Basically, Sekhmet is just good against human units. It's really, really bad versus myth units. So the big secret to getting through Sekhmet for anyone who wants to be, who's in these sort of positions, is to go into myth unit. As many as you possibly can when you see that Sekhmet come through. Of course, you can also go for, like, cavalry. It's not a bad idea against the Axeman Slinger. A No-Brainer. Wandering forward. Looking for somewhat of a fight. He's got so many Caraballister in this one counter barracks. Just needs a couple more of those to make this all work. As he does hit that heroic age. Charging forward. Chaos gets dropped in onto the army as shifting sands will come through. Shockwave comes in but misses it. Does that actually work? Surely not. I think I would rage if that were if that denied my shifting sands. Does anyone know? I have to do some editor testing. Surely that doesn't deny it. I know that it does if it's the Thunderburst. Shifting sands should work regardless if the unit is flying or not, because it hits flying units. But No-Brainer trying to make that happen. Now, he doesn't have another Shockwave, but he does have some Satyr coming into his army. We've got that Slings of the Sun technology coming through for Jack as well. And here's the big problem, which is No-Brainer coming in to hit Jack's gold mine. Jack will have to take a fight here. He doesn't have himself heavy axemen. He doesn't have himself heavy slingers. Great control on those Carabalister here. He's got to get those back. Getting huge amounts of damage done with them, though. As the slingers, however, now going on top of the Carabalister as the good control is down the window, out the window right there as the Murmillo Prometheans charging in onto the back of those slingers over here. But now only a handful of Carabalister remaining. Priest going after all those Prometheans as well. And can Jack defend here or not is the big question. He's lost a lot of villages, I think, from this. Does Jack have himself Skin of the Rhino? He does have that Skin of the Rhino here, but he's only got 5 priests on this fight, and there's so many Prometheans. Luckily, all the Wadgets are still alive, and they are an amazing anti-myth unit. They do that. They do have 2x versus myth units. That also applies on the poison as well, I believe. Maybe it doesn't, but I think it does. Does it? Maybe it doesn't. But nonetheless, Jack does manage to survive, but he's lost a ton of eco here. That mine was full. And now there are 8 villages left. What Jack does have, however, now, is he's got a really, really, really strong army that he can build. He's going to need to put some pressure back on to No Brainer and get some Vil picks very, very shortly. There's Contarius, Carabalister, more stuff coming through here as the villagers are going to start moving forward, trying to grab this Gazelle on the front. Prometheans on the back going to be falling, and it does look like Jack manages to win against this army yet again, which is giving him even more of a timing here to make something happen. He's got to make something happen now. We see a forward sky passage from No Brainer. This one's a little bit risky because he doesn't actually have control. All the advantage right now that No Brainer has is in income. He's double the economy of Jack 90. Maybe not double, maybe like 25, 30% like bigger on the economy than Jack 90 is. So he has to play Ring Around the Sky Passage until he can get the income in. And this Sky Passage will go down very quickly. The Scarab's going to make short work of it. Those Axemen are going to come through for Jack. More obelisks getting dropped by Jack, but No Brainer takes the opportunity here to push in and take out a priest. But Jack, he really can't continue to sit back and play defense here. This is where it's scary. The longer this goes on, the longer that Jack is just sitting at a 2k military resource advantage, the less that advantage is going to be. Heal up the Scarab, get an extra Scarab out, charge forward, take out the pallets, kill a village, go for the main base. Gotta make something happen here. On the flip side here, No Brainer as well, he can start thinking about going for extra oracles. He's only got 3. I think he might have lost some somewhere along the game here as these spearmen have been active. But No Brainer going to be looking for these raids, charging around the side. We'll be able to spot a priest there to take out. Which is quite nice. He actually jumped straight onto it there. A couple of houses to go down as well in the main base. These generally aren't that big of a deal for the Ra because you can empower the monument and then build them back up underneath empowerment. It's only a couple of resources lost, but still any amount of damage is good damage. Migdol Stronghold now coming up for Jack. He is not made. I guess the one thing he does have the Citadel Center. So long as he doesn't lose more villages, he's slowly catching up on this economic difference. This village is going down underneath the main Citadel center here, but so too are those Contarius getting picked off pretty quickly from the Citadel center. It's pretty scary being sitting underneath that, but no-brainer. Gets some good value there as Rain gets dropped. The Contarius going to immediately return back in here. And this little bit of a rain does help out a lot because it's 150% boosted economy, so you can almost think about it. Okay, so one, the rain, I say this all the time, but the one rain pays off one farm. Like one villager on a farm with the rain pays off that farm. So it costs 70 gold, right? You have Shadoof, you're getting about 35 resources, 35 food for the 70 gold for that first rain. So if you got 17 extra villagers, then you get 35 times 17, and then the second rain is where things really, really pick up for that boosted economy. And that does assume that the farms are right next to the town center as well. But if you if you math it out, and you drop the rain down on the second rain, it's like you've increased your villages by 150%. It's not like, it is. You are increasing the amount of villages on that farm for quite some time. So it's a nice little boost for you. But no-brainer, sitting back, waiting. He's going for this town center on the front. This is an absolutely wild town center grab. Right next to the base of Jack. He's going to be able to secure this Rhino. You have a Chaos getting dropped onto the back line there as the Contarius to come through. Arc is going to be getting their value. Down here is another shifting sands here from Jack to pull back. He can't afford to lose this army here because the loss of the army is loss of the game. But Jack's got to sit still and heal everyone up here. That's the most important part. Because otherwise the Chaos has actually got value. And you paid 50 favor to get away from it. Now the Contarius are going to be sneaking through onto the bottom side, checking out this gold mine. There's nothing there. And he might actually get stuck here. Some sneaky building placement can completely catch no-brainer out. And one wrong move here, losing all these Contarius for not very much, can help Jack a ton to get to the next stage of this game. No-brainer is not getting out of this position. He does charge forward onto the front here, but Slingers versus Arcus is going to be a nice fight for Jack. He's getting all the value out of his army here. As the Pharaoh playing some Neo dodges, getting over onto the Migdol, going to be empowering that one up. Takes out all of the Arcus. Now the Destroyers to fall. The Contarius have all fallen, and no-brainer has yet again thrown away another army. Really, really good defense from Jack there. But the same issue applies right now for Jack. The same issue, and that is he's behind on villagers. He needs to get the villagers going. He needs to get a second town center, a third town center. Maybe a market getting set up for some trade in this back corner to here as an angle as well. Meanwhile, Spearman coming over onto this side. Fortified town centers is through for no-brainer in this game as well. As he runs straight past the palace and fortified town center, sees these citizens. This is the damage which Jack absolutely needs to get done here. Meanwhile, Destroyers wandering forward. Town center going to be going down. Jack chasing back for the time being. Over here, all those slingers going to be falling. These villagers are way out of position for Jack. He cannot be affording to lose these. And these destroyers get such a huge boost from that relic that they're actually, I mean, they're already doing a pretty significant amount of damage, but still, destroyers going after that Migdol stronghold. It's going down. There's no saving that one for the time being. Up onto the top side as well, though. This is a good fight for Jack as Shockwave comes in to try and get just a little bit more value here, but it's not going to be enough. The Axemen push this one back as now the villagers for Jack going for the town center. And No Brainer up to the top side. We'll see what he can do. One citizen up here going to be falling as the destroyers wander forward. Spearman going to come over and take out the Sky Passage. And Jack has managed to get himself into what I call the next part of the game. He's managed to get himself to a second town center. He's still got a full army here. He's got through 2 chaos. He's got to be happy about the position. But Micro is going to be everything now moving forward. Arcus, very tough to deal with these slingers. When you've got that Destroyer Arcus comp. It's all about Micro, and it's very, very difficult. Over onto this side now. The villager's going to be grabbing that gold mine. So now the Contarius swing through over onto this side. And that will be one dead Contarius. A couple of siege towers coming in with the angle to take out this fortified town center. No Sky Passage down here is a big deal. But up onto the top side, the destroyers see the town center and say, yes, sir. Thank you very much. I will take that. But No Brainer's army is yet again going to go down here. He's continuously overfighting on these spots. He might be able to inch out somewhat of a victory here. If the Destroyers was still in there, he probably would have won that one. But while this is going on, No Brainer's second town center, really Jack's town center, going down. The palace behind it going to be falling too. As Jack spamming the spearmen out onto this spot to try and hold on. So many oracles for No Brainer. I'm not sure what he's been doing with them. They're all in the center of the map. He's got this almost entirely walled off. You can put all the oracles on the back there, no problems. The citizens over here, they do have an escape route with the Sky Passage. They can just drop that down, but they have to kill off the siege towers first. Otherwise, the siege towers will be able to deny it before it even finishes. But it looks like with all the spearmen in, the Axemen in, there's going to be some serious damage coming through and more red units to come over. And this here for Jack is everything that he wants and more. Another 10 population of villages going down, and all of a sudden, it's 76 to 63 villages, 1 town center apiece, and the game is very, very equal. Contarius charging in to take out more villages over here, however, as Jack does need to get back over onto this position, defend this. Migdol's coming up and all the other good stuff. He's got 2,000 food in the bank. Makes you wonder, is it worth it here to make some scarabs or just sell food for gold and get Mythic Age? As the spearmen come over, a little bit of shanky shanks. Couple of satyr in as the spearmen charging in, getting melted thus far by those Arcus. However, No Brainer's front line does seem to be slightly dissipating, though the slingers on the back there going down as well. And it does look like No Brainer's Arcus are going to be doing a pretty nice job here of dealing with everything. He does have to micro those siege towers on the front. Is a very naughty way to make life very tricky for the Arcus player. But now no front line left as the slingers are in, and they're going to be able to clean up those Arcus on the back there. Meanwhile, No Brainer, he's got a lot of units in queue here. One of the hardest parts about playing Atlantean is always remembering to put more buildings down. Most Atlantean players have got this build order sort of set in their mind where you sort of go 2 or 3 military buildings in the classical age and then shifting sands over onto this side. 2 or 3 in the classical age. Great defense. Can he get the villagers away from the sky passage? Oh, they hit repair. What are you doing, No Brainer? Oof. Even more citizens falling. Now No Brainer moving down to the bottom side. Like I was saying, what was I saying? I can't even remember anymore. Oh, military buildings for Atlantean. They're like, build 7 military buildings when you get to the heroic age is a very, very stock standard thing. But post heroic age, we're 31 minutes into the game. We need 10. We need 15. We need 20 military buildings. Villagers moving forward. Is there a shockwave? No. But a couple of villagers will still be falling nonetheless as Jack deletes his house, pulls back into his main base. He is, however, now gold starved. Market is going up somewhere on the map. On the front here, it's been denied. So can't sell. On the other side here for No Brainer, he has been buying food. So Jack can sell this food for a crazy amount of gold here. It's 101 gold for 100 food. That's as good as it gets. Meanwhile, No Brainer with the strangest sky passage I've ever seen in my life, but he's going for it. Villagers will make their way up to the top gold mine, try and grab that one. The Jack sends all his villagers over here. And the Contarius, their spider senses are tingling. He doesn't see it, but he knows they're there. They have to be somewhere. Walls coming up over here. Town center getting dropped. The spearmen are in to defend. And No Brainer says, I'm turning. He could have taken the fight. He's got so many Contarius here. That's only a handful of spearmen. As the Contarius do a little bit of a shake and bake there, going straight through the middle, trying to get over on top of those slingers. Well, he's going to squeeze through that gap and get out of there as No Brainer might try and sneak over onto the gold mine again. Picks off one villager here. Priest goes down. More villagers falling for Jack. As Hecate is on the way now for No Brainer. This is going to be really, really difficult to defend. You drop the Tartarian gate in the main base and you hit this gold mine for 6. You also do want to be thinking about getting a sky passage on the bottom side here to secure that bottom gold mine. If you're the Uranos here, there's a lot of very, very important setups that are needed. It's Town Center attempting to come up for Jack. He's trying to get himself just that little bit more map presence, map control. Chaos coming through as the villagers are going to get sniped during the chaos. Those Contarius getting damage done as well while it's all going on. Is there enough stuff here for No Brainer is the big question. This army of Jack is absolutely gigantic. Got 5k military resources to 3k, and it looks like Jack is yet again going to be winning these fights. Destroyers coming in. We'll see those slingers slinging away as, I mean, at this point, you almost have to just drop Tartarian Gate down to stabilize. Tartarian gate in the main base. Tartarian gate over here. On top of the gold mine. Citizens sneaking in ideas of a sky passage here. He does have this sky passage here. He drops the Tartarian gate on the gold mine, and Jack is simply just going to run. He puts the mining camp behind here, but the Tartarian spawns will spot this. You could shifting sands over onto the other gold mine if he wants, as the fighting continuing underneath this palace for the time being here. There's still just so many more units for Jack than there are no-brainer. Oh, these villagers, what are they doing? They're running straight past the Tartarian spawn, so he's getting some value out of the Tartarian gate. Really not the best usage of it, but he goes for it nonetheless. And then the villagers will move over onto this gold mine, and there was no sky. Well, there's a sky passage here, so he's got something to send down there. Some more Arcus going to be coming out. But the thing that No Brain has got here is he's just got annoyance everywhere. He can come in this side. He can come in this side. Arcus going to get a couple of pot shots off onto those spearmen as they're pulling back. Onto the top side, however, this little group of units going down is No Brainer forgetting about those. Well, the Tartarian spawns are coming over here slowly. I think if he placed it more closer, like right in the middle, he might have been able to hit both. A couple of siege towers going to make their way over to try and deal with the Tartarian gate. One thing that this does do is it stops the trade route, but maybe the market in the bottom corner is the best option here. As Rain gets dropped down from Jack for a third or fourth time. Third time? Third time. Those are the top here. The Sky Pass is going down. And No Brainer has just hit a very, very difficult situation. He has no gold. There is literally 760 left on the map. He doesn't have a trade route. He's starting it now. He does have an army. He's got one shockwave. Jack should shifting sands back here to keep this gold mine alive, because if he allows this over to No Brainer, well, this game will just get turned on its head. Because right now, Jack's got the advantage. He's got the army. He's got the unkillable army here. He just needs to have it on this position. This is the only spot that matters. Maybe you could delete the Tartarian gate, sneak around. You have to kill off the Tartarian spawn somehow. That gold mine is off limits. The No Brainer now grabbing this gold mine. That's huge. Jack, trade route started. He's got 4 camel caravans. That's not going to do anything for him. He's not going to be able to reproduce his army. He can't sell resources at all. 1 Lampede going down. Axeman onto the back here. Will end up getting killed. The siege tower yet again. Jack very, very naughty with that. It's super important to point and click. As No Brainer is going to be able to do some sort of repopulating because he's got gold income, at least for a little bit here. Siege tower is still taking DPS away from all of this. Yeah, there is favor, but what do you spend it on? Wadgets? Probably not. Maybe actually Wadgets. That sort of makes sense. Like hero units getting built at this moment, I don't think No Brainer can afford it. Even though he's got the favor, he just doesn't have the income. He doesn't have the resources. The scarabs onto the citizens. They do one hit. If the scarab dies right on top of a citizen, it does one hit them. There's 100 divine damage, I think. And the rain to come down for more camel caravans. But here's the thing. Even if Jack loses all of these units here, No Brainer still needs to get this town, and he still needs to get his trade route sorted. And he has to stop Jack's trade route. There's no brainer now saying, I got to run. What else can he do? There's going to be, he can grab this gold mine for a little bit of gold to keep him afloat. A palace behind this is a nice little move. Both players are just struggling so much. Satyr are an amazing unit to be building here as well, but drops the chaos, and that's going to be more than enough to deal with the rest of those Egyptian units. And now, No Brainer has the gold mine. There's 100 favor to secure this 2,000 gold, which is so important. Potentially a second market to come down, a third market to come down for a whole bunch of trade. It's going to be really important for No Brainer as well. The No Brainer now sees the opportunity to hit the trade route. Take control of this corner as another rain coming down. Villagers will need to get pulled and get into the fight. No Brainer going to grab his town center slowly at the top there. 90 seconds with one citizen to grab that one. Camel caravans going down as the spearmen charging in. Take out that back line of Arcus. As the walls to come back up. Jack knows how important this position is. Can he get himself stone walls? Might be just that little bit too expensive here. But the units are going to keep coming through. There's also options of building a fire siphon as well. Let's have a little quick check at the Uranus trade route. He's up to 18 llama caravans. But Jack manages to survive for the time being. I am confused at this Osiris. Horus is generally the god you want to go when you've got full barracks units. But then again, maybe there's dreams of making mummies. Mummies seem like they could be really, really good here with the Osiris. As Jack's still forcing fights, he is sort of pushing through this position here. And can he actually break? I don't think he breaks through this, but he will get his town center up. He's continuing to take this. Let's have a little armory check here. No, Brandon's got iron shields, bronze mail, and bronze weapons. On the other side, full bronze is going to be coming through slowly. But the gold mine is done now. Little cheeky walls up here. I like this idea. A market in this top corner going to this town center here. Absolutely huge for Jack. And locking that off from No Brainer as well is going to be really important. Trade route, check. 23, I think. 23 to 34. Jack needs to be empowering that market as well. However, while this is going on, Fire Siphon's going after the town center, but the Tartarian spawn's denying it. Another palace coming in for No Brainer as he is going to palace creep into this position if his life depends on it. You see a little cheeky wall coming up over here, but this does get noticed. Villagers go down. No problems. Couple of villagers over here going to be getting picked off. There's No Brainer has to pull back. He does have himself full pop. 235. There's still no fortified town centers in for Jack. But the problem is he needs to get to the mythic age so quickly here. Siege Tower's trying to break through this, but there's going to be too many units to pop out. We're even seeing sentry towers, which are going to get upgraded into watchtowers for the front line here as well to push in onto this trade route. As No Brainer is trying his best to squeeze through Jack 90's Ra in this late game. Now the sky passage over here. Some great ideas from No Brainer could be to, well, one, kill off the siege tower, but swap up onto the top here to take out this. That being said, there are a whole bunch of slingers up onto this side, so maybe that's not that important. Equally important is getting out those oracles. We do see some barracks coming through from Jack in this top corner. Little bit of side builds. As No Brainer is kind of a little bit asleep at the wheel here. He's not really training units anymore. Sometimes when you play these sort of really long Age of Mythology games, you have like these little lapses where you just kind of forget to train units and you can just end up going down to 150 pop, but it's woken up again, getting those units in. However, Osiris is coming. Osiris is coming, which means mummies, which means the son of Osiris, but it also means this is something that you can deal with as Uranus. Like, I would say Horus is something that's very, very tricky for Atlantean to deal with in the Mythic Age. But Osiris, all you got to do is get through the son of Osiris, and then we are in a good spot. All the markets getting deleted here as well, though, from Jack. His army is out of position. He needs to be over here. He could grab all of the caravans and pull them back and maybe put a market up. Yeah, this Tartarian gate is actually paying for itself in spades. You could get that market over here, then you can swap sides and take away a lot of the advantages that Ra has. Sorry, that Uranus has. Meanwhile, over onto this side, Jack going for the main base. Citizens pulling into the town center. And there's the son of Osiris coming through as well with that mummy. He is right in on the front. Little bit of a risky position to be in, but No Brainer needs to be sort of focusing here. Getting a little bit of damage off before the units are all getting picked off. No Brainer getting himself out a couple of fanatics here. Not the best unit to be taking out either the siege tower or slingers. The way that the fanatic functions is if it's attacking a cavalry unit or an infantry unit, it's really, really good. Everything else, it's average. No Brainer did forget theft of fire, but maybe he doesn't have any. He's got one hero citizen. So I don't think he's forgotten it. I think he just doesn't want any hero citizen. Which is fair enough. Save that favor up for another chaos or something. But now No Brainer going to hit this town center. I think he might actually be able to take it out as the army is super out of position. Well, sort of out of position. He's coming up here. He's got a couple of slingers on the back. Losing a town center at this point, I don't know if it's the biggest deal. You're just going to push back and take it back. Obviously, this is something that No Brainer is going to have to do. Then No Brainer can pull back through the sky passage and hit this position here. Go after that trade route. This is everything that matters and more. As the army does melt, the mummy comes in onto the back line. He gets that full spread of vomit, which will mean a lot of minions here once the slingers start getting that work done. The Fire Siphon trying to break through onto the bottom side. Son of Osiris. Solo defense. YOLO defense. A bunch more Arcus and Contarius on the way. So the town center will come back up for Jack. He's still valiantly fighting, valiantly defending. Jack yet again needs to move down to the bottom. This Aranos thing of just going left, right, left, right, left, right, non-stop. It's so tough to deal with. He will get his town center up. The walls have sort of started to get spammed all over the place from Jack. He's like, I don't want you to sneak any sort of citizens here, but it almost doesn't matter. Another palace coming up here from No Brainer. Is there an angle for a Titan here on the side of No Brainer? Doesn't look like he's got the resources for it in the slightest. With this amount of walls, you must be thinking to grab that stone wall as well. But looks like not just yet. Jack's trying to get himself out an army. I already said it, but I feel like if he went Horus here, I think this game would feel so much easier for Jack. Super Axeman, Slinger, Spearman. But nonetheless, I mean, the question really now is, how is No Brainer, or can No Brainer finish this game off? And what's the idea here? He's going to go for Sons of the Sun. He's got himself only 4 oracles out, but he's not really spending favor anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter. 53 villages on gold, or llama caravans on gold. 2 villagers happily mining out the rest of that gold mine as well there for Jack is going to be nice, but Jack seems to have lost quite a few camel caravans here. Did I just completely miss that? Did he delete them? He needs as many of those as he possibly can. He's the Son of Osiris, takes a couple more hits of damage, but the Arcus will all end up going down. I guess the next move here for No Brainer is just to walk in and just drop a sky passage here. Pop in with like all the citizens in the main base to build a palace in no time, and then just pop back over here and get the farms up. Jack still doesn't have champion units, right? Or does he? Yeah, he's missing so many upgrades. These are heavy slingers, heavy axemen, heavy spearmen. How much damage? He's done 3,474. It's probably about the same amount of damage that a tornado would have done. So I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this Son of Osiris in the slightest. Army situation, No Brainer is in front there. So Kontari is trying to charge through onto this side. That side of Osiris getting that shooting scooted. But end of the day, he is down. And that's huge for No Brainer. Attempting to put some guard towers in here as well. But the army is sitting back defending. Jack is, if nothing, a man who likes a good defense. $235 favor in the bank right now. There's angles for extra chaos. He could be saving up for another Tartarian gate. I think it was reduced from 350 favor to 300 some time ago. But getting up to 300 favor and then dropping that. I mean, what's he going at the moment? 30 favor a minute. So 2 minutes He'll be able to drop another Tartarian Gate in this corner of the map. So he can lock off both corners with Tartarian Gate. That would be absolutely brutal. There's Jack over here. Still managing to defend. He's getting his walls up. Oh! It's going to be a signature of the Titan, so attempting to get the Titan out to break through and finish this off. I mean, he does have... to be honest, I think that Jack can get it. No, Jack's got no gold. Jack's trade route is looking very miserable. He's got all the food, all the wood, but just not the gold to get that Titan out. The Tartarian Gate going to come down right over onto this position. He's just got one villager on it. It's just a bait Titan Gate. I'll be with you in 900 seconds, he says. Jack is getting close to actually being able to get some actual army through here. He does have to clean up all these buildings of no-brainer. So 190 seconds now with all those villages on the Titan Gate. There's still that looming second Tartarian Gate as well, which is going to be scary. It's now no-brainer yet again going after this town center. This is a really nice town center to kill because this is the trade route town center. The villagers turn around and try to repair that one up, but too little, too late. You can quickly reset these to the town center there if you use the hotkeys correctly. Select all of a type of unit and then you just right-click on the market. It'll go to exactly where you want it to go to. Or the furthest position. That might not be where you want it to go to at the moment. Because they might run straight through all of these buildings and die to the towers. There's advanced fortifications on the way now for no-brainer as well. Meanwhile, advanced fort. Yeah, we got the fire siphons. More fanatics on the way. And the palace is for no-brainer. Getting taken out slowly by these catapult. It's very important to grab these techs for your siege. Siege engineers, force of the west wind. Jack's still holding on, but this Titan is close. 75% of the way there. And I think that'll be enough for him to just walk through all the walls and just finish this game off. Jack just hasn't been able to get himself into any sort of a stable position. He can't get to full pop. The trade route is doing terribly now at 18 gold. He's now able to move it back to the normal market there, so he's going to get back up to, was it 60 gold? Only 37. He's now the Titan for no-brainer is in. It screams, it yells, it says, "Hello world, I'm ready to go." And no-brainer will move that one forward, ready to go. And now the only real option that Jack has is to spam priest, and he's got no gold. There's fanatics over here. We'll take out cavalry, which means Chariot Archers get taken out by the Fanatics as well. But I think, funnily enough, the only unit that the Fnatic doesn't absolutely destroy in the Egyptian roster is the Sekhmet Slinger. The Sekhmet Slinger is the only thing. Of course, Chariot Archers can beat the Fanatics as well with Micro. But still. No, they do bonus damage versus the Axemen. I don't know if they beat the Axemen. 18.4 times 1.5. And that is the game there. Is no-brainer. Manages to take it in 1 hour and 57 seconds. An absolute marathon of a game here. Jack played till the bitter end. I feel like he should have just gone Horus. But even then, inside of Osiris, he didn't make Mummy. He didn't get his upgrades for his units. And he just couldn't stabilize here. I think if he did either of those things, he would have been probably okay to push back. But credit where credit's due, no-brainer. Played this one like an absolute boss. Let's take a little look-see at the post-game here. All resources collected. As you'd expect, Aranos well in the lead because he was in front on the civilian count for the entirety of this game. But as you would also expect, units killed here from Jack, 1,057 there to 905. So a little bit of a unit killed advantage, but also the Ra units are cheaper than the Uranus, so he definitely had a really nice difference there, but there's 205 villagers killed. Brutal. Nonetheless, if you guys enjoyed this game, please consider following the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.